Hi everybody, how are you all? I'm Miss Penny from Marengo-Union Library, and don't mind me, I am participating in Library Week, National Library Week, and we are doing Spirit Week, and it's mismatch day, so see, I'm totally mismatched. Even my shoes, which you can't really see, but I have two different shoes on too. Anyway, that's not the point. We are here for our youth craft. I hope you guys are all excited to do this because we are doing a pinata. We are making a balloon pinata, and oh, it's gonna be so much fun. Okay, we're gonna use glue because I've heard that maybe flour gets a little old if you decide that you want to save your balloon maybe for a long time. So we're gonna use glue. So you are going to have glue. I'm gonna put glue in a jar for you, and your job is going to be to add water to your glue. Okay, so that's why I have a jar of water here and the glue, just to show you that's what you're going to be doing. I actually already have some mixed up for me. Yours will not be mixed, but that will be in your directions in your kit, so that's good. Okay, you're going to have a balloon in your kit, you're going to have newspaper, you're going to have glue, and you're going to have directions. The hope is that we're making a hot air balloon. I think a hot air balloon, especially in the spring, it's gonna be so fun. So we're gonna make a hot air balloon pinata together. Exciting. All right, make sure you have clothes on that are okay to get dirty, because this is gonna be a messy craft. This is going to be messier than a paint craft. If you see, I have covered my surface with this plastic wrap. These are great from dollar store because you could just throw it away. Walmart sells these two, that's fine. So I put a box here, you can use whatever. I have a box, it's covered in the wrap. I have my balloon, I've blown up the balloon, okay? I'm just gonna use the box to set my balloon in to dry. This is going to take a few days. Oh my goodness, you're gonna have to show patience, but you guys have got this, I know you do. All right, let's get started. I have blown up my balloon. I have mixed my mixture, okay? Well, this is half water, half glue. That's what this is. All right, so we're gonna open it. If it lets me open it. Oh, there we go. Ooh, tight seal. We're gonna put this into a bowl that you're okay not to use again, or you know what, you could probably use it again, but you're gonna make sure you're gonna wanna wash it really good because you're putting glue in there. Okay, you're gonna have strips, or you're gonna have newspaper. You're gonna want this in strips, okay? Also, another thing you can use is this, is like packing paper. That will work just as well. So I'm probably gonna use a mixture of both. You want your newspaper, you can just tear it. Isn't that neat? Just kind of tear it in strips. That's it. Some strips, there's no rule, there's no law as to what size the strips necessarily have to be, okay? But maybe you want it to kind of fit your balloon, so you don't want it to be too long, that's all. All right, so you want a whole bunch of strips. You are gonna want enough strips to cover your balloon. That is your goal. Covering your balloon in a layer of glue covered newspaper. So that's your job, guys. I like to let you guys do things that you wouldn't normally get to do, right? Rip up paper. A few crafts back, you guys got to play ball in the house because we made those igloo basketball things. Do you remember that? All right, we're just ripping up the newspaper. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and, because I said I'm gonna use a little bit of both, I'm gonna go ahead and rip up a little bit of this too. Same thing, just some strips. There we go. So we just want to be able to cover our balloon. We're going to be covering it in, you'll be covering it in anywhere from like 2 to 4 layers possibly, because you want your balloon to be sturdy, because it's going to be a pinata. So if you plan on putting something in your pinata, you want it to be sturdy enough to hold that stuff. So, lots of strips. Right now, you'll need lots of strips later, but as of right now, you just need enough to cover one layer because we can only do one layer at a time. We do take a piece of newspaper, dip it in your glue, gooey, messy. There we go, wring it out a little bit there, okay. And then lay it on your balloon. What you do want to do, I mean, you could cut it later on, but whoa, you want to maybe leave a little spot open on top, okay? Because that's where you will be filling your whatever you're putting inside, candy, treats, goodies. So this is all we're doing. We're covering our balloon in newspaper covered in this glue mixture that we made. Ooh, it's so gooey and slimy. There we go. I just want to make my hole on top first to make sure that I've got that set aside. See, I'm just going to make my hole about that size. That's actually probably a little big. I might make that a little bit smaller. Just a little bit smaller. All right, there we go. Yeah, that should be plenty big enough to squeeze treats or candy. See, just kind of like that. Can you see that? That little square on there? The rest of this balloon is going to get covered in this gooey, gluey newspaper. Remember, make sure you're covered, make sure your space is covered, or even do this outside if it's nice out. Here we go, we're just covering our balloon. Oop, I missed a spot, so I'll make sure I get that covered. If you do end up like really missing a spot, not a huge deal, because when you go back to do your next layer, you can get that spot covered. So, I mean, it's not like, it's not the old, oh my goodness. That could have been the end of the world. It's heavy. It's not the end of the world if you miss a spot. That's the point I was trying to make before the balloon so eagerly was trying to get away from me. I feel like we're almost finished, and then I look at my balloon and I'm like, yikes, there's so much more left. All right, I'm gonna get this balloon covered. And then we're gonna let it sit for 24 hours. And then we're gonna add another layer. Ooh, you know what's fun with gluey hands? Yep, when you let them dry, you can peel them like skin. It's like peeling skin. I could totally go home and trick everybody. Be like, look at my skin's falling off. Oh my goodness, what should I do? There are tons and tons of different hot air balloon ideas. That's what I was about to say. There are tons and tons of different pinata ideas. I just saw the hot air balloon and I was just like, oh my gosh, I just thought it was adorable. So that's why we're doing hot air balloon, because Miss Penny here thought it was adorable. If you decide that you don't think it's that adorable and you want to make something else with the items in crafting that you have, or things that you might have at home even, you can. You don't have to do the hot air balloon. That's just the idea I'm throwing out there. Some people, instead of using their hands, that are like I'm doing, use it like a paintbrush. Well, not like an actual paintbrush, but I don't know. What's the fun of getting a paintbrush gooey when you can get your hands gooey? That is my first layer covered. So now we want this to sit. I still have, you can't see it that well anymore, but there is the little spot on top. So when I am ready, I can pop my balloon and stick candy in there. Whoop, whoop. That's it. First layer, done. We're gonna let that dry, come back in 24 hours. See ya. Hello everybody, I am back. Let's finish this, shall we? Okay, so look at this. It is a dry pinata. We're gonna call it a pinata now. This is layered. I did not record layering and layering, okay? But this is layered, okay? You guys can decide how many layers you want to put on yours. Remember, it can be 2, to 4 layers or more if you want to make it super, super strong. The more layers you put, the stronger it's going to be. All right. So anyway, this is ready to go. We get to decorate it now. Let's do this. Now, you'll notice the top got covered on mine. Totally okay. What's good about the top being covered is I can show you now what you can do if your top does get covered. So your directions are going to show not just to leave a little hole here when you're covering it. And the reason for that is so that you can fill it with goodies. But if your top does get covered, it's not a huge deal because we can open it right up. So shall we get started? I have my box here still just to hold it in place because it still wants to roll away. If you have a hot glue gun, you can have that ready with adult supervision. Make sure you have a big person helping you with that because we don't want any fingers to get burnt if we can help it, okay? Oh look, it's pajama day! So if you notice, I am in my pajamas. So anyway, just in case you were wondering why I'm in jammies, this is why. Okay, so hot glue gun. You can use regular glue if you don't have a hot glue gun or if you don't want to use it. So you can have a hot glue gun. This cup is going to be in your kit. This is going to be the basket of your hot air balloon. All right, if you've got a stapler, you can have that handy, some tape, some scissors. I have a sharp knife here because this is what we're going to use to make the hole in the top. All right, you're going to have some string in your kit. You're going to have yarn in your kit. You're going to have some of this stuff, which is called crepe paper. You'll have some of that because that'll help with your decorating. And you'll have some different color tissue paper. If you have any other colors at home you want to use, feel free. You also don't have to use crepe paper and tissue paper. You can just paint it, or you could just paint it, really. An option, you can choose to paint this right now. One reason for painting this beforehand, like maybe a solid color, is because the possibility of this paper not covering it, so maybe like the newspaper showing through. So if you don't want that, just cover it in like a white paint or blue or whatever color, okay? Just an option, something to think about. Something that I don't think I have showed you that, of course, you're gonna have directions in your kit. This is similar to the project that we're gonna be finishing, okay? Hot air balloon, so fun. I'm really excited about this one. If you have little trinkets or little candy that you want to put in there, you go ahead and do that. All right, let's get started. I will show you first off, because what we're going to want to do when this is totally dry is you want to get that balloon out of there. It's time to get the balloon out. So I'm just going to put this on here. I'm going to use my knife because, like I said, there's no hole there for me, okay? And I'm going with the top. I shouldn't be holding it like that. Not safe. Keep your adult person with you to make sure you're being safe. I'm putting my balloon in this way, this position, okay? Because this is kind of what a hot air balloon looks like. I want my top to be this way. So I'm gonna make sure I have myself a little hole. What you can do is take your knife and just carve a little, you can make a little door actually. You don't even have to make the entire hole since this is totally covered, okay? So I can just make a door. So I'm going to use my knife. And when I do that, you can hear, well, you can't hear, but I could hear, the balloon popped. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a little door. So I don't even need to pop the whole thing, or I don't even need to get the whole thing. Come on, Mr. Door. Yeah, that's it, just need a little door. See, a little door. That's all you really need to do if you cover the entire thing. If you don't, you'll already have that hole and you don't need to worry about it. So your balloon should be popped now. You can grab your balloon, and mine actually stuck to the glue, so I don't need to worry about pulling it out because you can't really see in there, but the balloon is literally stuck to the glue. If your balloon is not glued to the paper, just pull it right out of there. So I have my little hole poked. That's so that I have just enough space to throw in some little goodies when I'm ready, okay? Now we get to decorate it, yay! This is like so fun. All right, I'm gonna put my knife out of the way because I don't really need that in my way. We don't need to mess with that, right? Let's learn how to make fringe with tissue paper and crepe paper, okay? I started making some. So I started making, this is out of tissue paper. This is just fringed paper. So in your directions, it actually tells you to do one piece at a time. I cheated. So if you're watching the video, you get to know this little tip or trick, and you can do more at once. Ha! Ta-da! So I did more at once, basically, by not, I wouldn't say it's cheating, it's just a trick to be able to do more at once. What I did was put all of my colors together. I put all of my colors on top of each other, and then I followed the directions, which are in your kit, to make the fringe. So what I did, there's another piece that I only half finished so that I could show you closer. So what I did was I piled all of my paper colors together, and then I cut them to about this size. Then I folded them all in half. This is where the directions will tell you to go ahead and staple it together. If you have one color, great idea, but since I used many colors, I want to pull them apart, so I didn't staple them. Then you're going to take your scissors, and you just want to cut just about 3/4 of the way up. I will say, I practiced a couple times, and I did end up getting a little too crazy, and I cut it all the way. So be really careful with your scissors, because it's really easy to start going crazy and then cut it all the way up. I mean, not a big deal, because you can just use the smaller pieces, but the bigger pieces might be easier. But that's all, I'm just cutting it all the way, 3/4 of the way up, just to kind of make it a fringe. So you guys will have a mixture of colors, not necessarily the colors that are here, just a mixture of colors to use. And if you have more at home, feel free to use them. For the second part, I will show you how we're going to do this. This is just a little bit different, basically the same concept, but since it's not tissue paper, so I'm taking it, I'm folding it in half, and then I'm just going to keep folding it again. The only thing that you have to be careful on when you're folding this, however many times you're going to fold it, crepe paper is a little bit thicker than tissue paper, so if you go too thick, it may be hard to cut. So if you're going to go like super thick, just have some really good scissors. Otherwise, just don't go too thick. I went about this thick. So all I do is roll it up like this, and then you can do like a bunch of fringe at once. Again, be careful with this one. This one is even a little bit more tricky than the tissue paper because it's a little bit thinner, but it's the same concept. You're gonna just go about 3/4 of the way up to make it fringe. Now you want to decide the length of it, and then you'll just kind of cut the length. I'll probably have them about, that won't even go all the way around, so I'll probably cut them about this long. So then you just want to take one side here and cut it. And then do the same thing down here, because there's the folds that are holding it together. Now I have like 4 pieces of this all fringed up and ready to go. And there we go. So what you're doing with the cup, guys, before you attach it to the bottom of your balloon, you're going to take your crepe or tissue paper, whatever, and you're going to put it around your cup just to decorate your cup. You could do it before or after the balloon. I'm going to choose after. When you begin your balloon, start from the bottom with your decorating, okay? So choose your color. I'll start with yellow. Use your hot glue gun very carefully and just begin gluing it on there. And we'll be able to puff it up. The fringe part, we can puff it up later. So don't worry about like puffing it or fluffing it. Maybe I should say fluffing, not puffing. Don't worry about that quite yet. So you want to kind of glue it on there and just keep going around and up, around and up. So the hot glue gun works the best, but if, like I said, if you don't have hot glue, totally fine. You can use regular. It'll be a little trickier. You could try tape. Tape might work, might be tricky too, but hey, you have to use what you have to use, right? You use what you've got and what you're big person and you find the most safe. That is the way to go about this. I think actually that I have enough yellow. I'm just gonna tear that off so I can start with another color. I'm gonna put I'm gonna go with green now. You can do any color you want. Doesn't matter. You can keep this folded, or if you want, you can even cut it in half and have 2 pieces of fringe. I think I'm gonna keep mine folded because it'll make it a little bit fluffier once we're really complete with our project here. Now, what I may need to do, because it's not stapled, is put a little bit of glue on the inside of it as well, because it may not hold together. So that's something to think about with not stapling it. Because it'll hold on to the balloon for me here. That it's doing fine, but, ooh, I touched the glue, didn't burn me, but it stuck to me pretty good. So what I'm doing here, in case you can't really see, and I'll show you up close in a second here, is I'm kind of overlapping so that none of the balloon actually shows. I don't want the balloon to show. I just want, the paper to show, because that's my decorations. So if the balloon shows, then I'm not really doing my job. Yeah, so I'm just gonna stick a little bit of glue on the inside here, just so that it doesn't like unfold on me. Sure, it seems like it's holding actually pretty well, but okay, so if you just kind of look, yeah, I'm just kind of overlapping it. So it's really gonna go this way. There we go, see? So I just keep turning the balloon and putting the paper on. Just all the way to the end with whatever colors. If you choose to use one color, that's your prerogative. But if you could, send us pictures. Did you know I was gonna say that? We would love to see what kind of things you created, because I know how creative all of you are that are doing these projects, and I can't even imagine. Even if everybody does a hot air balloon, everybody's is gonna look different, and I would love to see how different they all look. So if you even could send us a picture, even bring it in. If you want to bring it in to show us, we would love to see that too. Switching to purple. All right. This purple is actually crepe paper. So this takes a lot of time to do, a lot of patience. So it's gonna take you guys some time, but the end project is gonna be so cool. So it's worth it. Then you have to decide at the end, are you going to use this, like actually use it as a piñata, or will you just hang it up and use it as a decoration? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know, I kind of want to just use this one as a decoration, which I think we might here at the library. We might end up using it in the end, but for a while it's going to be decorations. You might see it hanging around. Yes. Okay, everybody, so here's what I did, and hopefully you watch this video before you start your thing. You will have some string. You're gonna have yarn and you're gonna have string. You wanna take the string. So I should have actually done this before I started all this decorating. Weeks. Good thing I caught myself before I finished, okay? So I can fix it, no problem. You wanna take your string and cut it into 3 pieces. Once I find the end, here we go. 3 pieces of the same length. But you want your pieces to be able to fit from one end of your balloon to the other, plus a little extra, okay? So I have it here, and I'm gonna pull it a little bit further and a little bit further. So I want mine, okay? Because you want it a little bit longer because you're gonna be tying knots on both ends, plus you need a little bit of a loop. If you don't have enough for the loop though, that's no big deal because you can add a loop with extra yarn or string, or hopefully string because it's stronger. So you want 3 of these pieces about the same length, okay? So I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna do this before I even cut it. There we go. So I have my 3, let me figure out, there they are, my scissors were hiding. Okay, I'm gonna cut it into my 3 pieces. There we go. I'm going to take one end and go ahead and knot it right now. Okay. So if you need help with it from a big person, you go ahead and do that. You just want to knot the end of the string. So I have a little knot right there at the end of it, okay? Then you're going to put that knot at the bottom of your balloon, right at the bottom. So this is why we wanted to do it before we decorated, so that the string was hidden. So I'm gonna have to maybe add a little bit of extra decorations, which is no big deal, on top of these, just to kind of hide the string if it bothers me, which it probably will. All right, so I'm just gonna put your string right around your balloon like this, okay? Can you see there's one there and there, kind of like a triangle shape around there. And carefully, if you can, flip it over to where your top is, okay? And I'm noticing right now that I did not cut my hole right at the very top. That's okay though. When you get it to the top, you want to do the same thing. You want to tie it as tight as you can against the balloon. Another knot up here at the top, okay? So you need a big person again. You go ahead and do that. Grab your big person, get that knot tied so that you're all set. Yes, okay. If it's not totally tight against the balloon, that's okay. Just do your best because we're gonna tape it on too. All right, so it'll hold your balloon like this. I have found, or I've learned, try to straighten this a little bit, there we go, that this is actually a stronger hold than trying to just put a string up on top to hold it. That's why we're doing this. So take your tape, this is why one of the reasons for our tape, and just kind of tape it on there, your string, so that it kind of holds it in place, okay? And then, if you didn't start this with me, or if you read the directions on the papers, which actually told you to do this, then start decorating over the string, okay? So that's how it should be. Haha. Now, let's continue our decorating. Oh, we're getting there. I have just that little bit of the top to do. I'm going to turn it this way now to finish it. Just make sure that you leave your hole open when you get to your hole, okay? Since I put mine on the side, I will be working a little at an angle. But I will show you how to, I'll show you about that in a little bit. Make sure you don't get your loop part in there in your decorating. So you want to keep that up so you'll be able to hang it with that. Okay, so I just went around that little door or hole as you're hopefully going to have, as you hopefully follow directions. But if you didn't, like you saw, it's not a big deal. You have to take a piece of string. It's pulling it. All right, so almost finished, everybody. Almost finished. This took a lot of patience. So if you stuck with me this whole time, good job. All right, guys. What do you think? Covered. And I left my hoop, my string out here because I'm going to make my hoop. Got the top covered, and the bottom's covered, and my hole. Okay, so now let's decorate our cup while we have our hot glue gun still going. And you're doing the same thing with the cup. Start at the bottom and start gluing your fringe on there. little basket cup that matches your hot air balloon. This one won't take as long. What would be cute is if you had a picture of yourself and you can kind of make like maybe a stick person of yourself with that picture and put that in the basket. Wouldn't that be cute? Or whatever occasion I guess you're using this for. Use some kind of cute picture to go with the occasion. And then your basket is now ready. And that, I'm gonna put it this way for now, okay. You'll need hot glue maybe just for the end piece when you're ready to cover it up. So after you have filled your candy in there, then you'll want to cover up your last piece here because you want to hide your fill spot, right? So we're just gonna take a piece and just kind of hide it in there, and that's it. But that didn't really hide it sufficiently, so I'm going to add just another little piece here. I think because it's a door and because it's on the side, maybe a little bit of both. There. Ta-da! All right, so this top right now is just 3 strings, but I'm just going to I'm going to make another knot at the top with those 3 strings, and then it'll make it a loop. Show you what I'm talking about as soon as I get those tied. Yes, okay. So now what this is it's a little loop, so I'll be able to hang it from somewhere when I'm ready to hang it. Now I'll let you know what we need to do with this. This also you could have put before you did all the decorations, or now, like I'm doing. So we're going to take one end of a piece of yarn, tape it in there really good, like just at the top like that, okay? And we're gonna do that with all 3 pieces, but we kind of want to make it almost kind of like that was, but in like a shape of a triangle here in your cup. So kind of spread them out. You've got 3 pieces of yarn and you want to spread them out pretty evenly inside here. All right, so now you should have a cup with the 3 strings that'll hold it up like this. Then we're gonna attach this to our balloon, to the bottom of our balloon. And there we go. You can use, I think I'll use tape. I have to add some decorations to this anyway, because actually also check on what length you would like it. So if it's not the right length, you might want to fix that before you start taping, like I did not. Okay, and really you could attach these to the strings that are attached to the balloon already. You know, right about there, those are already in their triangle formation. So if you're just doing that, that would work. And then, there we go. All right, so remember when I didn't quite do this correct? And so now you can kind of see, if you look, because you can kind of see the strings. If that really truly bothers you, you can really just kind of cover up just the string area, maybe. So, like, I'll just take some purple here, because I can see the purple, I can see where that is. Maybe I'll cover up where I just put this string with the green, so you can cover it up. See? It's fixable. It's all fixable, everybody. Nothing is unfixable. So I've done this, and now, look, you can't even tell. Can you even tell where that string was? No, you cannot. Okay, guys, there we go. Ooh, untangle, there we go. Oh, is that not the coolest thing? Well, mine's a little crooked, and that's okay. Everybody's can be however it can be. I can't wait to see what your guys' turn out like. So please show us some pictures. You can hide candy in there. You can use it for a party. You can do whatever you want with these. Like I said, you can hang it and use it for decoration, which I may do. Like I said, look around the library because you might find it. You might not find it till summertime because I may wait until then, but you don't know because you won't know unless you come into the library and look. Send us pictures or simply have fun. Remember, this is going to take days and it's going to take lots of patience, but I know you can do it. Have fun, everybody.